Hey everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake and today we are going to be looking at the subreddit r/entitledparents. So let's sit back, relax and enjoy some Reddit stories. Entitled Bench thinks she can get away with assaulting an employee. Turns out she's very wrong about that. I'm one of the shift managers at a well-known and well-loved fast food establishment. We are famed for having some of the hardest working and most respectful employees in the industry. As a manager on duty, I make sure my employees know I have their back. That brings us to today. Our cast is as followed. Me, freaking hate that guy. NG, the new guy, pretty cool dude who occasionally messes up, as we tend to expect from new hires. AE, awesome employee. I usually leave them in charge when we're working together because they know their stuff. Then EB, the entitled bench, and EK, entitled kid. So today has been rather uneventful. The occasional spill here or there, someone got the wrong thing on their order, etc, etc. Most customers love us and understand when we mess up. We always make sure to make it right no matter if it costs us a few bucks or 50. Cue entitled bench. Now, I was in the manager's office looking over some catering orders due for that day. For some reason, it seemed the entire city of LA decided today was a fantastic day to order all the food in the house. No matter, it's good money. I was in the middle of trying to call someone in to give back of house some relief from all the massive orders they had to now make. The awesome employee comes in and tells me that someone's at the front counter and wants to talk to me. I hang up the call, the person hadn't answered yet, and head to the front. There, I meet entitled bench and her monster child, who won't stop screaming. Your employee is trying to scam us. I ordered a large ice cream cone and he gave us a small. The new guy looks petrified and isn't saying anything. Not wanting this interaction to continue, I say, I'm sure it was an honest mistake. We'll fix that for you right away. The new guy immediately nods his head and heads over to the ice cream machine. An honest mistake, huh? Your honest mistake made my child cry. I demand you make that ice cream free. Ma'am, I can either give you a refund or remake the ice cream. Your choice. What? How dare you? You really expect me to pay for it after your employee made a mistake? With all due respect, it seemed you already ate the other cone. Besides, at this point, there isn't any proof that a mistake was made in the first place. We'll replace your ice cream or issue the refund. New guy is walking back with the cone at this point. Entitled bench's previously enraged demeanor quickly changed to an almost creepy sweetness. Okay, I'll take the cone. Thank you so much. I sense something off here, so I linger in the area. My spidey senses were on. New guy presented the entitled bench with the cone. As soon as he turned his back, I saw entitled bench ready herself to throw the cone right at the new guy. Luckily, my reflexes were fast enough to slap the cone right out of midair, into one of our soda machines. I internally cringed, knowing we'd have to do an extensive cleaning on that later. Not wasting time, I immediately turned to entitled bench. Leave this restaurant right now. But now, if you ever come back here, you will be turned away without question. The entitled woman gathers up her child, who is now screaming even louder. Your food sucks anyway, I hope you go under. I decide escalating the situation would be pointless, so I just keep an eye on her until I can see her car driving down the street. I capture an image from the security footage to put on our do not serve list. The new guy was shaken up, but insisted that he was fine working. I gave him a 30-minute paid break so he could calm his nerves. This occurred all of 2 hours ago at this point, and my blood is still boiling. Edit, as some of you have guessed, the establishment is indeed Chick-fil-A, certainly not McDonald's. Our ice cream machine actually works. Oh, a little sly dig at McDonald's there at the end, but what my mind was focused on is her slapping the ice cream mid-air. I can just imagine the entire world go slow motion, and it's just like a no, and just slaps it. Your birthday should revolve around my schedule. Yesterday was my birthday. I don't want or ask for much on my birthday. I have the day off from work on Sundays, so that was already a win for me. For as long as I can remember, for my birthday specifically, it's practically been tradition to celebrate with an ice cream cake that a nearby store sells. This year was no different. My sister has 2 kids, age 5 and 8. They're great kids, love them to death. My sister herself has always had some mental issues, bipolar, switch flips on a dime type of stuff, but refuses to get help for it. It's led to many of arguments with family over the years, but her life, her choice, whatever. So they were over. Not really because of my birthday, it's very common for them to be here because they literally live like 1 minute away down the street, and her house is honestly disgusting and not clean at all. So instead of cleaning, she just comes here instead. It's around 7:15 PM, and they want to cut the cake. I'm in the middle of something and say I'll be ready in about 20 minutes, and that they can start on the cake if they'd like. Apparently, my sister did not like this. I was upstairs and didn't hear this directly, but from what my girlfriend tells me, my sister just started exploding on me, talking about how selfish I am, then bringing up other random, irrelevant petty stuff in an attempt to justify it. Talking about how it's a school night, and so her and the kids have to be in bed and need to leave at exactly 7:30 apparently. They ended up storming out about 10 minutes before I was ready. Kids didn't even get to finish their cake. Go downstairs once I was available too. Get told by my mum that I really ticked them off? Like, excuse me? Now, my sister has spun a tale to paint me as the bad guy for all of this. How freaking entitled do you have to be to think someone else's birthday should adhere to your schedule, down to the minute? Despite the cake, it just ended the entire day with a terrible taste in my mouth. Hopefully this wasn't too scatterbrained. Would be too difficult to format this as a conversation since I didn't hear it directly. Well, that must have been a sucky birthday, I guess. I don't even know what to say to that one, because he said that she's got like mental disorders but she refuses to go, so I don't know. Entitled mother trying to cut the queue at checkout counter by being an abusive and lying person. A little background. I work and live in Dubai, and most of the time I shop from Carrefour, close to my apartment in here. That's the closest thing to Walmart in here. I have seen Carrefour in France as well. Since close to 90% of the people living here are expats who work and live in here, evening hours in the supermarkets and malls can get pretty crowded. This happened 3 weeks back, so I was getting some groceries on a Sunday evening after work. The queue for cashier in the evening was pretty long. Fun fact, Sunday we work here in the United Arab Emirates. Weekends are Friday and Saturday. Since I'm living alone and I hardly cook, I had around 14 items, which is mostly the snacks I indulge my evenings on. So I was there getting close to the cashier. There was just another guy in front of me with a shopping cart full of stuff, and I was on my phone talking to a friend. "Excuse me, mister?" I heard someone talking to me close to my left ear. I told my friend to hold on and turned around. There was this entitled mother with a kid. Now, this kid is not an entitled kid by any means. She is too young to even say something. I told my friend on the phone that I'll call later since it wasn't anything important. "Yes, ma'am?" "You mind if we go before you? We are in a hurry." And entitled mother, who looks around 40, points to the basket in the kid's hand. It's a small basket with some chocolate and a colour book. So I look at the 8 or 9 people behind me in the line, and no one seems to have a problem judging from their face. Sure, no problem, you can go ahead. Now, entitled mother doesn't say thank you, which doesn't matter to me anyway. She cuts in the line. The guy currently at the checkout is swiping his card, and the cashier is bagging the stuff. Entitled mother suddenly turns around and waves her hand and starts yelling, "Entitled kid, come over here! Here!" Surprised as me, everyone in the checkout counter turned around only to see the entitled kid with a trolley full of stuff. Literally more than 100 different items for sure. Everyone in my line combined wouldn't have that much stuff to check out. Excuse me, miss, I was under the impression that you had 2 or 3 items to check out, but this is a bit too much, and I can see no one in the line would approve of that. Most of us have been waiting here for over 15 minutes. What are you saying? I was here before you. I was genuinely shocked. I was like, what? No, you weren't. I was a bit confused, like maybe she was there and told me to hold the place or something, and I didn't notice because I was on the phone? Now already, a couple of people are having big trolleys on the checkout counter, which is pretty narrow. It's 2 lines in the middle and 2 checkout counters in the both sides kind of setup. So entitled kid, about 14, comes by pushing the cart through the line in a forced manner. Like literally he was not giving a dang and doing it by force. So there is one bald guy, who we'll call BG. He was on his phone at the time. I thought he didn't care or he didn't even notice the whole thing. But he just happened to stop the cart by holding it when entitled kid was trying to squeeze past him. You're not gonna cut the line. Not today. Mom, this jerk is stopping me. Now, the entitled mother storms past me and goes to the bald guy. Who the freak do you think you are? Look, these people are nice. They might let you get away with your BS. But I am not gonna let it happen, and you need to teach your little brat some manners. I was in the queue ahead of you, jerk, and don't you dare preach to me on parenting. No, you weren't. Ask that guy. No, you weren't. You happened to trick us into thinking you got 2 items to cut the queue. Now you are being a really bad person about it. This time I was sure that she wasn't in the line before me by just looking at her face. It was literally the face of someone who thinks themselves as, I am so smart, rest of the people are stupid, so I can get away with anything. I was there before you, jerk. Weren't you staring at my butt pretending to be on the phone all the time? Huh, now that's it. You're not gonna get in this queue or any queue today without waiting your turn, witch. I would have rather stared at a pack of sour candy than her butt, and I hate those candies. I really wish that I had come up with that line there and then. So we hold the queue and call the manager. To my surprise, everyone else was calm and supportive, and one guy actually said, like, maybe it would have been much quicker if we let her first, but let's wait and get this crazy woman sorted out. After a few minutes, the manager shows up. What's the problem? I was on the queue first, and these 2 are not letting my kid through, pointing at me and the bald guy. Another guy in the queue speaks up. BS. She was cutting the line saying she only had 2 items, and her kid showed up later with a truckload. Manager just looked at everyone to see the nods to confirm his words. Manager then asks the cashier, and she confirms the same. These people are freaking lying. It's safe to assume that you were cutting the queue, then assuming everyone else is lying, ma'am. So you have to step out of the queue and start at the end of any other queue. BS. She then turned to me. You're a freaking liar. and she tried to grab my phone. Maybe to break it? I dunno. I withdraw my phone and hand out of reflex. That's it. You are done in here. We don't want you in here anymore. Apparently, they can ban customers inside a store. So Entitled Mother was removed immediately by the security, and the manager apologized to everyone for the trouble. The whole thing took about 20 minutes of everyone's time, and that was it. Yeah, someone put here what I was thinking exactly, like that's a warning right there, because if someone wants to go in front of me and they look like they're in a rush and they've only got like one item, I'd be like, yeah, just go ahead. But next time I'm gonna be asking questions, I'm gonna be like, are you sure you've only got that one item, or is a truckload gonna come in? Karen harasses a girl to the brink of tears on a bus stop because she gave her seat to Karen. This happened this morning and I'm fuming about it. So I was standing near the bus stop and a girl was sitting on the bench and talking on her phone on the bus station. Suddenly, Karen strolls past me with her toddler, winching and making loud noises in the baby carriage. She has a bag of chips in her hands and tells the kid to cool down and he will get it. Karen goes to the bus station where the girl is sitting, still speaking on her phone. And almost directly, the girl stands up and gestures that the seat is Karen's, since she's on her phone and moves away. Well, this nice gesture led to Karen flipping out. The moment the girl stood up, I hear Karen yelling at this girl and almost let her baby carriage roll down the street when she hastily tries to park it, so she can confront this girl. Karen walks up to this poor girl and literally yells in her face, while gesturing aggressively, her face less than 10 centimeters from the girl's face, and acting super threatening. I'm talking fight me kind of body language. I don't speak the language spoken since I'm an international student, but I do understand some keywords. Karen yelled at the student that the girl needed to excuse/apologize for something, and the girl keeps repeating she's on her phone. I start walking closer to the girl, and the Karen sees this and decides to leave the girl alone, going back to her noisy kid. At this point, the girl was on the brink of tears and sniffling, and I feel absolutely guilty I couldn't help her earlier. So I write on Google Translate that I'm sorry she had to experience that, and the bus arrives. Later, when I was walking to uni, the girl approaches me and tells me Karen yelled at her for giving up the seat, saying she was mentally ill and accused her of being crazy and on the phone with her therapist, and that she needs to be locked up because she wouldn't sit down and talk on the phone next to her, all because she tried to be nice to a Karen. I'm so mad for the poor girl and hope she never has to experience this again. I'm so confused by that story though, like, why would she just randomly approach her just because she stood up? It sounds like she has some kind of mental illness, like, not the person on the phone, but yeah. Hey everyone, I hope you all had a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now, or check out the playlist down below. If you enjoyed that video, then please do leave a like. And if you want to submit your own stories, then you can do so by joining the Discord in the top link in the description. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.